There was an episode where the Hulk he hulked out in a lake or river or whatever, and he was fighting a bear.
Yeah.
And then all you see is the bear get thrown into the sky.
Okay.
It's not like the bear, but you know, like they're standing and he's fighting, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like you know when they're on all fours.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who has purple pants on a repeat order on Amazon, Kyle Charles, and
the man who hulks out due to road rage, CY Chung.
And today, in this episode, for some reason, it was your idea, we are going to talk about
First of all, can I point out, whenever there's something that I want to do that you dislike, is always me.
Yeah? It's like this is okay. Cool.
In fact, when there's something that you dislike at all, right? When you suggest origins, you just lump it onto me. I take the heat for you.
To be fair, I do that. I deflect. But this was your idea because I totally kind of.
This one actually was my idea, though. Yeah.
Forgot about it because obviously when we did the Hulk TV show before, I kind of forgot about it. Well, movies, I kind of forgot about it until now. So yeah, get it away. We're gonna be talking about the TV series of the Incredible Hulk from the 70s that was. Which
I remember correctly, you saying that you can't watch stuff from that far back.
No,
where's your cutoff line before we actually start
Where's my cutoff line? I would probably say, if possible, late 80s, and then after that, yeah.
But you will make exception for Spider-Man Super Sentai.
Yeah, I make exceptions for that because that just looks like insane. So I'll make exceptions for that.
Okay. Yeah.
What's his I'm gonna say he's Tiger. Yeah, he's
Liam
Zord thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Incredible Hulk, 1977 to 1982, and we already done the TV movie. So
yeah.
this before that. Yeah. You know what? I was spam watching these, and it's actually pretty good. You know, it's dated because of the fashion and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And there's some bits where you're like, if it was taking place now, it wouldn't work because back then you had much more lax security, I'd say.
Yes. This is before terrorism. It was a big thing.
Yeah. But even then, like they probably used satellites or whatever to find it and whatnot. Back in those, they didn't. In fact. Did you like the change? Did you mind the change of Jack McKee going after him and not Thunderbolt Ross? I
didn't mind. I was like, it kind of makes more sense for it sounds weird for the TV budget and the scale of the show. It makes sense rather than it'd be army chasing all the time. That's quite expensive.
Yeah.
If it's just like a news reporter, lawyer sort of dude, just wear the suit. That's what we need to.
Yeah. I was like. You know what? For whatever the cost of the episodes, Otherwise, you would need all sorts of army, whatever, right? Yeah. But you still need the guy chasing him, so that's fine, right? And you need the guy with a reason to chase him.
Yeah. Antagonist, the word, isn't it? You still need that. Yeah.
Well, kind of, not really, but because Jack McGee never comes up and mean spirited. He's just trying to find out what's going on.
Yeah, he's kind of like the historian of the series in a way, like documenting. Yeah.
In fact, there's one episode that is like a day in the life of Jack McGee.
Okay.
Yeah. There's way later on in maybe middle of season 3.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go. It starts in like the newspaper where he's working.
Yeah.
And the old editor-in-chief is leaving, and they're getting a new one or something like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you chasing this Hulk story? He's all false and, it's not real. It's like the spaceships and UFOs and stuff like that. And he's like, no, this, that. And then you get flashbacks and as he's explaining this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But that episode was done because Bill Bixby was going through a divorce. I think he was going to court or whatever. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So he couldn't be there to film that chunk. However, what is smart is because his stand-in is in the episode, and because Jack McGee never sees Bill Bixby, then you just see the guy, in the clothes running that gets away and then trips over, then hulks out, right? But you never see his face, which is okay. This works in the episode.
Yeah. quite clever.
Yeah.
Like, they could just use like archive footage, which they probably would have done nowadays. But yeah, which
Yeah.
they do a lot
Yeah.
in. I think the Spider-Man cartoon. There's like lots of like cheap animation bits where they use like scenes from other episodes. Like that doesn't fit in.
There's a lot of episodes which are padded out with flashbacks, but not. I mean, not that they just do filler episodes, right?
Yeah.
Like you say in that anime where you're talking about, there was a Fist of the North Star episode which is basically just 2 minutes of new animation and the rest of it
just
reused animation. As in, Bart is talking to, I can't remember the girl's name, about how they met Ken and stuff. Oh, well, hold on a minute, that didn't happen too many months ago, according to your timeline. So
yeah. But yeah, it's just still
that's fine.
What a funny show. Ooh. I never actually properly watched Fist of the North. Are you there?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? I can hear you, but I'm guessing you can't hear me. Oh wait, there you're back. Hello?
Hello? You froze. You froze.
So did you? Yeah.
Oh, so maybe it was both on both ends.
Yeah.
Where was that?
We're talking about that random bit of Fist of the North Star, but it doesn't. We need to carry on. Yeah, that reused animation. Don't know why you brought it up. And then.
Oh yeah. Because there's bits where it's chunks of stuff that he just remembers from previous episodes.
Yeah.
Which play like small, a little bit in the episode, but then it's just like just relevant.
Okay.
Like where people tragically die and the Hulk's like involved and he's rescued them and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then he has when they're doing mental whatever, and he's going through his mind and whatever, that sort of thing,
Ooh.
Yeah. But I give credit to his show.
Yeah, no, same. Like,
it takes itself seriously. While there's bits that are kind of comedic out of context.
Yeah.
The show, it never is too tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
It's like, the through line of some guy's science experiment and it went wrong and then he's now a mutated monster, whatever, right? And it treats that as proper, like, okay, I'm on the run because of this. Right. And I have to try and cure myself because of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which it's cool. But it's something that I don't think it's quite a unique way to do a superhero film. I mean, not film, like TV show back then. It's like, okay, cool. You kind of like made it into like, say, are they called procedurals, where it's sort of like same sort of thing each episode in a way, but like with the Hulk being a hero for like, say, the last 5 minutes or whatever, and then
however long it is, but
which I get. That was a big thing back then, even to like the mid-90s.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they only had what, 10 years, 10, 15 years of Hulk lore they were working with at that point.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because Hulk came out, say, 62 probably, in it? Or it's around sometime in the 60s.
Yeah.
So you're right, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. And part of that Hulk was, one appearance of Grey Hulk.
Yeah.
Which was the first appearance, and then Hulk speaking like the Thing.
Yeah.
Before he turns into Savage Hulk that speaks like caveman, and then this Hulk doesn't speak at all, but it only makes sense because why would he?
Yeah.
They took the Jackal and Hyde thing and enhanced it, which is kind of what Stan Lee took for the Hulk, anyways, right?
Yeah. Until the Hulk became like, now the Hulk's his own thing, but basically he's a not a rip-off, but he is.
Yeah. Well, he was, I mean, you know how like you can sometimes take the idea and just expand upon it in a different way.
Yeah.
That's what Stanley did with the Hulk. It's like, in the transformation. I'm sure there's other transformations, that like the Wolfman and whatnot. So it's not exactly just that. Well, we'll say, whenever they're talking and they're talking about the Hulk and they're saying 7 to 8 foot guy, and they were showing his shoe size, which was massive, right?
Yeah. And then you see.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, if he's 7 to 8 foot and Lou Ferrigno's 6'5",
yeah.
and he's always hunching over as well, so he looks not necessarily short, but it doesn't look the full on. If you're standing next to you or me, you'd think he's tall, right?
Yeah.
But even when he's hunched over, standing next to you, you're 6'1".
Yeah.
He's not that much taller than you.
No.
But if he's hunched over, standing next to someone, and then he's supposed to be 7 foot,
Yeah.
8 foot, that means everyone in that universe is
It's
6'2" plus.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
You know?
That's probably one of the things they probably kind of messed up on, like saying his height.
Yeah, but they showed his footprint as well. When you look at Lou Ferrigno's, like when he had to wear the rubber foot is not outside as well.
Yeah.
So
like a
I think,
weird.
Did you ever? You seen 300?
Yes, unfortunately. Yes.
And you remember? Kurgan was one of them guys, and I think
Yeah.
Kurgan's 6'8" or something like that. 6'10".
I think they tried to. I think he's 6'10" because I know they tried to bid him as like 7'1" or something like that. But yeah, I think he's like 6'10".
Yeah. So he was fighting Jared Butler, who's about 6'2".
Yeah.
Except that it wasn't Jared Butler, because we get the proportional size of Jared Butler when he's standing around normal people, yeah?
Yeah.
And then they swapped in a stunt double, which was 5'3",
Oh.
to fight Kurgan,
That makes sense.
to make it look even more like the difference.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, you know what, maybe they should have done some situations where they did just got people of average to below. Well, I say average. I think the average male height is supposed to be about 5'10", 5'9"-ish. And the average female height is like 5'4" to 5'6"-ish.
Yeah.
So they should got people like below average or kind of on that line. So then when Hulk's standing next to him, he looks even bigger. Unless he's going to stand on a box, of course. But
yeah,
it's like you remember Rocky 3 where Stallone was standing next to Hogan.
Yeah.
The other Hogan, the other Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And he was like chest height.
Yeah. Even though realistically, isn't like Sylvester Stallone quite short,
but here's the thing, isn't it? Stallone's like 5'8" realistically.
Yeah. And
Hogan is supposed to be 6'8", 6'7".
Yeah,
whatever.
He's pretty. He's pretty. I'll say then he probably was like probably 6'5".
Actually, you know what's even funnier? So I think he's supposed to be about up to the chest height of Hogan when they stand. I say face to face, but they weren't face to face, right? Face to chest.
Yeah.
But then later on, after they have that tussle in the ring.
Yeah.
After Stallone gets leg dropped, then he power slams Hogan.
Yeah.
Thunder lips.
Yeah.
And then they do the photo shoot for the charity for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like actually shoulder height to Hogan. So like, honestly, where's your continuity?
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're paying someone to be like the continuity like guy, and
I say shoulder to chin height, something like that, because they were separated a little bit by a couple of other people, but he wasn't as small as they made him look before, you know.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hogan.
This series had their version of Brian Banner, but it wasn't Brian Banner. I can't remember his dad's name, but I can't remember. They said his dad's name, but it's David Banner here.
Yeah,
has a sister, and he also has a dad. His dad's a farmer, and he's like, I could have given the lands to you, David, but you wanted to go off and do your science things. You wanted to break the tradition of generations, that stuff, right? And they're having beef at the beginning because of that. And he thought David was dead as well, right?
Yeah.
And then after they reconcile, then Mr. McGee goes and finds them, and they already set the table out.
Yeah.
And and then kind of, I want to say Brian Banner, but Bruce's dad, David's dad, kind of like slips out to the side to give Bruce all his stuff, and they kind of like do a silent goodbye sort of thing.
Yeah.
While the Lonely Man music plays, and David's running up the farm. Yeah. Well, no, it hasn't started playing yet, but Jack McGee's still in there talking to his sister, and they're like, I don't want to disturb your Thanksgiving, blah blah blah, but I heard the Hulk was whatever, and they're like, oh, no, and then to buy David time to run off, they're like, Mr. McGee, why don't you sit with us for Thanksgiving? And they're like, and he's like, no, I don't want to impose or whatever, and they go, no, we already have a place there. We had a relative from out of town, but unfortunately they couldn't come. And then that's when the family looks at each other like, oh, he's gone off, and then the Lonely Man music plays, and then it's like, okay, fams, isn't it?
So,
But-
because this
but,
is before in the comments where they gave his dad the backstory of being like a domestic abuser.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought so.
Yeah. Right. So that's what I was going to say to you. I was going to say here. I don't know if Brian Banner was introduced to the comics at this point, right?
But I don't. Yeah, I'll never know. It's way before my time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's things. They just kind of went with the more traditional route, and that Brian Banner is as far as Bruce is concerned, a very dark character.
Yeah.
Because he thought Bruce was a mutant for being so clever, and he beat him. Trying to beat the mutation out of him? What's that about?
that's known to work, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like beat someone stupid, but then you want your kid to be.
Yeah.
Oh no! And then Brian had the inferiority complex because I can't have my son smarter than me because some people are like that. It's just like,
dude, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, like,
then you want your people to do well,
Yeah, it's weird. Weird.
Towards your other point as well, there is an episode about child abuse.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that was
It goes to pretty dark places actually. There was this. So, what does he do? There's a kid with all you just assume that he's getting bullied in school because David is a caretaker and he's just finding his kid around the back of the playground. But some other kids kind of come away from that direction.
Yeah.
And the kid's got bruises and stuff like that, and you're like, and David's like, oh, blah blah blah, we should go to the nurse and whatever. And he's like, he goes, no, let me walk you home. So he takes him home, and then the dad's like, oh yeah, thank you very much, thank you, for whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then later on in the episode, the dad's like, kid, boy, you get me that beer, right? Don't make me tell you twice, that sort of thing. And he gets a belt out, and then I'm like, wow, all right. And then when David comes in there to try and stop it, he gets beat up as well.
Oh,
then he Hulk's out, and then Hulk's standing over the guy who's been threatening to beat. I think you see discreetly kind of beat the kid, but not, right?
Yeah. It's implied.
Yes. And then he's all carrying a corner, and then he gets flashbacks of when his dad was beating him. I'm like, wow. Bit nail on the head here. Abuser becoming the abusee become the abuser, know. And then he's hugging his son, going, "Oh, I'm so sorry, son." Oh. Right, okay, but I mean, to be fair, it was the 70s, so they probably were like, let's, no subtlety. We don't need it.
What's subtlety?
There was a scene.
Yeah.
There was a scene where Hulk was he rescued the kid, and then they walk in in a dark alleyway.
Yeah. And
this would have been a cool. You know how they do the Hulk out transitions, where they just kind of use still footage and dissolve the film.
Yeah.
They got Bill Bixby, and then Bill Bixby with makeup, and then Lou Ferrigno in green.
Yeah.
Or the other way around if it's reverse transformation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here they could have because they had the bulky Hulk, Lou Ferrigno walking with you can see their silhouettes, right?
Yeah.
And what they should have done is have Lou Ferrigno kind of duck out in one of the darker sections, and Bruce Bixby come in.
Yeah.
And then it looked like he whittled down.
Yeah.
Rather than that. Because you can see when they freeze frame and dissolve the footage together because they can't quite match. Actually, you ever watch Quantum Leap?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And you know when Al's there, and then Al disappears, and then they're like, so just before Al, he's pressing the button to go, and then they freeze.
Yeah, and then it looks so obvious, doesn't it? Like.
They don't react, but it's like you should have. I don't know. I think there's ways to do it where you could have cut and then it'd be someone looking around, or like, well, where's he gone, or something like that. That way, you can hide the edit.
Yeah.
Anyways,
rather than making it obvious.
Yeah. I don't mind the whole transformations here. By the way, the way they have to dissolve the footage and whatnot, it's like it makes sense because they don't have the technology they had nowadays. Which
because obviously you did that now would be like, oh god, but then it's like, oh yeah, that was kind of technology for that time. So it's like, yeah.
Do you think, by the way, if they were doing it now, they would have to overuse CG?
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be too expensive to do now because they wouldn't use a person?
No. Like
the She-Hulk show kind of showed.
Yeah. You kind of have to limit when you can use that. Because it basically be kind of like how they do it in this. Like, you'd see the Hulk for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's probably like 90% of the budget is that 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, do you think if they did a Hulk show now, they would use all the other Hulks, dude, like Joe Fixit, Professor Hulk?
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you this later, but I might as well ask you now.
Yeah.
Later on in the show, you don't actually see any villains or anything from the comics, do you?
No, you do see one aside from the TV movies, which we don't count from this for this specific run.
Yeah,
you see another Hulk called the First, right? Because this guy had arthritis, and then another guy, he saw that David Banner was doing experiments and with Gamma, and then he tried to do he tried to use Gamma for this experiments as well.
Yeah,
because they were kind of running the same sort of experiments at the same time, like using the adrenaline to pump up and make you stronger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Quote unquote super soldier serum, but not really, right?
Yeah.
And that made one of his gardener Hulk out because he was using on his gardener who had arthritis.
Okay.
Whose Hulk is not big and bulky like Lou Ferrigno, right?
Yeah.
He's a bit taller and lankier, but it's like, all right, okay. I mean, he didn't look like he could fight Lou Ferrigno whatsoever. You know? But he kept on doing the pantomime, let's come and fight sort of thing. And then he got shot. He shoved Lou Ferrigno a couple of times, and Lou Ferrigno just grabbed him and said, "We did, bitch."
Oh wow. So,
well, it didn't quite like that.
Yeah,
but
it's like what, for the 70s.
There was no one in the comics in the show, but there were people with powers. There were psychics and stuff like that. Well, minor powers. You know, those smaller base powers that you can kind of do without needing too much.
Yeah. Okay. But no one recognizable, I'm guessing.
Nah, no one there. There was people that pretended to do voodoo.
Signs of the time, yeah.
Yeah, and there was one where because he's hitchhiking around, he hitchhiked with a magician, and the magician forgot to leave the key in the water tank.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do the trick himself, right?
Yeah.
He's an old guy, yeah, but he left it. He forgot to leave the key in the water tank for Bruce. So then, for David, and David, luckily he could Hulk out. So you know.
Yeah, he survived.
Wow. But yeah, no, there weren't really any superpowered beings for him to have a one-to-one fight or anything like that with. Yeah. Or even the leader who would have had a big brain, but I don't know if the leader existed. Rick Jones wasn't even in this at all.
That's what I found weird, because isn't Rick James literally linked to his original origin?
Rick James, you said.
Sorry, Rick Jones.
Rick James.
Same. Not same.
We know Rick James from Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he was around at the time anyway. But like, Rick Jones, he is linked to the Hulk's original comic origin, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the whole reason why he went out of the bunker to save him and stuff, because Rick.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm gonna play my guitar because I'm a beatnik, because that was a
60s. I'm gonna go and drive through to take a shortcut and not see the military experiment bomb site sign. Yeah.
And then, so you would think, even if they didn't use him to be in part of his origin in this, they still could have used Rick Jones in the show.
Yeah. It could have been actually one of the. So you have Jack McGee, and then you have also Rick Jones trying to find him as well. Like, you know, on occasion, you know, couple of actually, you know what's good is Jack McGee's not in every episode. And logically speaking, if you're a reporter going by, not necessarily the evidence, but you can't search every single source.
No.
You'd only find them on occasion. Yeah. And 90% of the time you did find them, but that's here or there. Yeah. That is, you know, he doesn't necessarily need to be in every episode.
No.
And it's just showing the episodes where he does happen to come across him.
Yeah.
He is actively looking for him. And there was an episode where Hulk was Bruce was in a car crash, I think, or something like that, and his face, Hulk's hair got set on fire.
Okay.
So when he transformed back, he kind of went to the hospital because they had to bandage his face. So, how convenient! He forgot his memory and he's bandaged up his face. And then he encounters Jack McGee because there's a forest fire or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's like helping Jack McGee. And he's calling it like Jack McGee's calling him John Doe because no one knows his backstory and stuff like that. And then it turns out he hulks out later on, and Jack McGee goes, "It was you all along," except that
burnt face.
Yeah, well, not the burnt face, but they bandaged it so you couldn't ever see him.
Oh, there was one bit in this as well. You're speaking about bandages and stuff. Like, you know, in the first episode, only episode I watched, like when the hunter shoots him, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought, like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll let this go. He pierced the whole skin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he's talking to the lady, I want to say her name's Cheryl, but it isn't Cheryl. The woman who's helping him out in the first episode, in the episode movies. She goes, "Oh, it looks like you got shot 3 days ago because there's scar tissue and stuff." I was like, "Wait, the Hulk's better have like accelerated."
Oh, well, okay.
But I get they sort of dumb him down for
TV
show. Yeah.
And they power him down a lot because the other Hulk was killed by bullets, and the Hulk does get hit by bullets and hurt. And in fact, one bit where in the season 2 pilot, not season 2 pilot, sorry, the season 2-part opener, he hulks out and he cuts himself on glass. Conveniently, they need to get his DNA or whatever, right? Because the lady was trying to help him do the experiments and stuff like that. But it's just like, wait a minute, I get bullets, piercing damage, if you're gonna say, by the way, he plant force fire and he can if the tree hits him or whatever, right? Car hits him, he's gonna absorb that because it's kind of spread out, But when you get hit with piercing damage like spears or whatever, fine, right? You're gonna say his skin's not that dense,
Yeah, but glass.
A glass, when you walk a glass, he broke the door and then he ran through the glass, right? And then he cut himself, and I'm like, if we ran into it, fine, right?
Yeah.
Even that'd be a bit silly, but whatever, right? If he ran into it and then he found the shard of glass in his leg and he pulled out and then put it on the floor, right? Okay, fine. But actually, side tangent here, but that is technically speaking. So Wonder Woman has to defend bullets with her bracelets, And my logic goes, of course, is like she could take punches from Superman because blunt force, But if it's something sharp, then it'll pierce her skin.
Yeah, that kind of like.
Well, so she's got a shield and whatnot.
That makes sense.
But then again, I think she's taken punches from Doomsday's knuckles, which are sharp.
Yeah, but they're sharp when it's convenient.
Okay, fine. Which also explains why she can stab and shank him. While when Superman's punching Doomsday, it doesn't have the same kind of damage effect.
Now you're putting it that way. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we're going by Dungeons and Dragons rules here,
Dungeons and Dragons rules is real life rules, though. As long as you roll a good dice, you're fine. But,
Well, okay. So, according to this Hulk, right? He gets hit by bullets. That's it, right?
Yeah.
He falls out of a helicopter.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. There was one episode where he did actually come out of a plane. And I thought, oh, well, if he's going to Hulk out here, then that makes his movie not make sense later on. But they had a parachute, which then he opened up, right, eventually. But then they had some snipers try to shoot the buckles off, which he did. And then he kind of, as he was close to the ground, then he Hulked out. So it was like, okay, fine. He was close enough to have the Hulk absorb the damage. Actually, in fact, there was an episode where, what happened to him? He got hit by a car as Bruce Banner, as David Banner, right?
Yeah.
And then when he hulks out, because it broke his spine or whatever, right? He was in a wheelchair. In fact, the guy in this episode, when you're watching these things, when you span watching these things, you notice that there's a couple of people from previous episodes which are playing different characters, but they look exactly the same. It's not just one dude has a mustache, and he's not as if he shaved his mustache and played another character. No, it's exactly the same. Another dude was a biker, and then he was trying to assassinate the governor or whatever it was, right? It's like, well, you couldn't even dye your hair or grow a beard or something like that, Anyways, so he hulks out with his broken back in his wheelchair, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then the Hulk's like, he's stomping his own legs because he's like, why aren't these things working? Actually, when he falls down the stairs in his wheelchair, the first thing that happens after he hulks up is that wheelchair comes flying back up. Like, all right.
Because, like, I'm not going to lie, that's actually a good idea and funny. But it also really annoys me. Like, wouldn't he, when he holds out, be able to walk? But then maybe when he does. But the Hulk kind of staggers up, and he is walking very slowly up the stairs and staggering around, and then kind of like I think he tumbles or something like that. Okay.
but
Yeah.
not really. Yeah. So,
Oh.
and in fact, there's an episode where he has a halfway transformation as well because of some meteor rock or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they got a guy who was a pro wrestler
Yeah.
to play the middle version.
Okay.
I think they used close-ups of
The middle.
Bill Bixby,
Yeah.
like above the head, and they give him the torn shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they put some of the prosthetics on, but I don't know if they got a guy the guy who looked like similar to Bill Bixby enough for them to put the prosthetics on and look the same. But I think they do the conveniently shot above the heads for Bill Bixby, and then when it's further away, they got this guy, because the guy's built.
Yeah.
Not Lou Ferrigno built, but it's like, okay, that's a halfway transformation where he's kind of half clever and half. He's not smart. He's just caveman now.
Yeah. Me not smart. Me caveman. Yeah.
Water, drink, thirsty. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh.
Well, not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like Hulk leave, Hulk go, like he is.
Yeah.
Animated clone, which is awesome.
And I'm watching this obviously. What? Almost 50 years later, right?
Yeah, bloody hell, yeah.
And I'm like, there's stuff that I guess if it was in the Hulk comics at the time, they would have probably used, but like, I think Joe Fixit or something like that, where they would have a couple of episode run where he was Grey Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Professor Hulk because that's kind of a bit more.
That's more like isn't that Professor Hulk's like more the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah. But even like. Say they were doing it now, you'd have to build up. You'd have to do Bruce. You'd have to do Savage Hulk. Then you'd have to do Joe Fixit. Then you'd have to do the episode where Doc Samson puts them together, or some. Not necessarily Doc Samson, but someone psychiatrist, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Professor Hulk merges, and then you've got to do actually that Professor Hulk's another personality. That's like 4 seasons worth of stuff. Yeah. And when I say 4 seasons, that I would just mean even if they're 8 episodes or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
You still got to build to the point where you get to there.
Yeah.
You
just skip it.
Yeah. Or as they did in the MCU, right?
Yeah. Which I was okay with,
I mean,
but yeah.
Yeah. I just think, but for them it was alright because they didn't try to build. They just had Savage Hulk, who became smart and smart, and then they kind of worked out something between them.
Yeah.
Like as far as we know, from what we're getting is Bruce and Hulk decided, all right, let's just be compatible, and then because they're not saying that Professor Hulk is a separate. We're calling him Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
But they're not saying that this is a separate personality.
No. It's both personalities in one, technically, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah. So, do you think they will do that? By the way, do you think they'll just be like, all right, well, actually, this Professor version of the Hulk is a separate personality, and then we're gonna go through?
I don't know, because I would if they were planning to do like single things with the Hulk, but I don't think they are.
Yeah.
So,
do you think they'll do any of the Brian Banner stuff in the MCU, or do you think that's just too dark?
I don't.
If you could mesh with how they've done Hulk now, the Edward Norton Hulk, fine because they didn't have a backstory.
Yeah.
And it was a bit. You could go that way.
Yeah.
Here's Hulk's a bit of a more of a because he's a supporting character. He does his bits, goes in and out, and does whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you can't get into that sort of backstory without having a lot of information.
Yeah, you can't just dip into it. Like, hey, by the way, this has happened. Like, wait, what? That?
Yeah. By the way, Brian Banner, boom, and then you're like, okay, Devil Hulk and all that stuff, right?
That's not weird. Yeah. That's not weird.
Like his dad killed his mom, and then, yeah. That's I mean, that's not. It's just.
Yeah, because even for the 2003 Hulk movie, like the whole just. Even though I did it right in the beginning, like, oh, the dad killed. That's a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, sure. And they just went with it. So I was like, all right, that's something. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yep.
Yeah, they freeze again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right, 1 second. It might disconnect me, but 1 second. I think I know what it is. Give me a sec. Disconnect that. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still there.
Oh, cool. All right, yeah. So I think because I got a VPN run, I think that sometimes it's been acting weird lately, so it cuts off every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've stopped that. So
right.
yeah, and the whole I'll go back to what I was saying. I know you heard me.
Yeah.
That like even though in like the 2003 film when they killed his mum off in that, like in the beginning, that was like what because I didn't know about that whole bit of the Hulk lore myself at that point. I was like, that's kind of a dark take to go, and then I read it, I was like, oh no, that actually did sort of happen. That added more layers to this.
You think they made it up for the movie because of the direction they were going? No, actually, it's part of
I was like, oh wow, that's a dark take for this character. I did not figure that one out.
Yeah, but then it does explain how his Hulk out works, like how it's the Hulk, Savage Hulk is his child personality, just wants to be left alone. Jay Fix is the teenage version, and Professor Hulk is the adult that he wants to be, kind of. And in the series, Hulk he hurts his Hulk out, and then he kind of just runs off, and then he kind of cools off like a child. Like, actually, you know what? They are, because even though they didn't specifically have that section of the Hulk background at that point, they were true to it. Strangely enough.
Yes, they utilized it.
You look forward, like in the 70s, say that. What I don't get is why didn't they ever make hair the same as Bill Bixby's hair? To put on
like some straight wig sort of thing.
Yeah, like why haven't you put like a fringe cut sort of bob thing? Like, no. You should have Bill Bixby's hair, and if you're gonna make it wild, at least like because I don't think Hulk. Did he have that sort of hair? He didn't. He never had that sort of hair, but never had wild hair either, right?
No.
But he kind of had whatever haircut that that Bruce Banner had, but kind of dark green.
Yeah,
so
it's weird. Unless when you Hulk out, your hair straightens, but looks weird. I don't know.
Hey. As far as we know, Thunderbolt Ross, right? When you Hulk out, your mustache disappears. So
which I'll bring him up later. So I'll bring him up later. But well, with that whole thing, but did they never introduced I say Jessica Waters, Jennifer Waters in the series?
No. I think, and the other thing is, quite rightly, Kenneth Johnson, the showrunner, was like, but isn't red the color of rage? So shouldn't it be red? None of that.
None of that. Nah. It's grey, but green. Because it's meant to be green, but we got grey first because the colorist got mixed up, and then.
No. So they were saying they couldn't print grey properly with the printing they had then, so they changed it to another color which you can print. I'm like, wait a minute, green makes perfect sense to me because
radiation,
gamma rays are signified as green, So that makes that you can make the argument whatever, but at least you can say that logic from there to there because the gamma rays changed them whatever, right? Unless you're going to say it was alpha rays, then you can be red.
Which exactly that would have made more sense. What? Oh, that's hilarious.
And I mean, there was episodes where he was looking for a cure, but then some episodes where he was happened upon situations where he never ended up looking for a cure. So at the beginning of the episodes, they've always got that bit where they do the flashback. David Banner is. Not he's dead, right? The creature's blamed for a crime.
The crime.
Not crimes he didn't commit, but you know what I mean?
Basically,
not an A-team. Murder they never committed, and David Banner must hide away until he finds a cure or something like that.
Whatever.
And I was like, oh, you know what? But there's not enough episodes where he's looking for a cure. There's some episodes that weave in and out that he is looking for a cure, and then some episodes where he's just like, all right, I'm going to try this formula today. Right? Like he's spent the season break making a new formula? Or I don't know. Okay. How safe is any of this stuff, right?
Apparently none of it's safe.
The Hulk's green color does kind of change later on because I think it starts as a kind of really bright green, which is more Hulk-like color, right?
Yeah.
And then it becomes more of a lighter shade of green.
Lighter, yeah.
Yeah. Probably because they, like that other green paint was thicker. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they probably thought it looked too cartoony. See, that's the difference between the 2003 Hulk with that sort of.
Yeah, that was too green. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2008.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious. But there was so the origin in this. Like, what are your thoughts on his sort of origin in the TV show?
I think it made sense. It made sense that he had. So beginning of the episode, his wife's already dead, and he's having a nightmare of how he couldn't rescue her because the car crashed over, and he's not strong enough to lift it. And then he's talking to a lady who's an African American lady who was in a car crash, and she did save her son by wrenching up the car. I'm like, wow, okay. But then all the experiments are because of that, and I'm like, yeah. What he did it makes perfect sense. Yeah. That he overdosed on gamma radiation because of a human error also makes sense because these things do happen.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
And then the first time he tried to lift the car and it didn't work, and then he holds out because he's trying to change the wheels and it's raining, and he's like, "Hell,
I hate the rain." This is worse than my wife dying. Hulk out.
Yeah. Okay. And then his cohort who, it genuinely works. So she's been trying to help him for the entire thing, and then he's like, well, now it's gone too far in the other direction.
Yeah.
We've got to come up with a cure. And she's genuinely trying to help him, and then she also dies at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Technically due to Jack McGee.
Yeah.
He was in the cupboard and he knocked over something, but they were trying to hustle him out. And then the explosion happened while David Banner's like saying, "Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry."
Yeah.
And then she dies. He hulks out, rescues her. She dies. Jack McGee sees that and he's like, "All right, see the Hulk running out there. See Hulk running out. The lady, David Banner's nowhere to be seen. 2 and 2 together. Dead body. Later on, he must have the Hulk must have done it."
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was quite sad though when she was saying, "Oh, all the time as well," and she was in love with David, and then he can't do anything because he's the Hulk. A Hulk form still kind of being, having some sort of emotional feeling, but not.
Yeah.
And then when he's
feeling of confusion.
Yeah. Or like there's some sort of latent empathy.
Yeah, he kind of has. Yeah, like he's connected, but he doesn't know why he's connected to it. It's like, oh, okay.
And then David, when he visits her grave to actually get the plot going, because it's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I loved you, and I think you love me too." And I was like, "Well, yeah, but you're." Well, I don't know how long your wife has been dead, right? To be fair, so
he says like a year. Beginning, it's like she's been dead for a year.
Yeah. So
okay. You couldn't have loved her that much if you really moved on to this woman, but all right, sure.
Hey. Sometimes,
but it kind of takes away the whole point of him doing what he was doing then. You know what I mean?
It's true. Yeah, it is true.
Because I was like, wait. Because at first I thought he was talking about his wife. Because and I guess I loved you too, whatever. I was like, is he talking about his wife? And I was like, no, he's talking about that one. Like, but then you done all this stuff because you was upset that you couldn't save the woman that you loved. But then you already love this woman. So then why you put yourself in this situation for no reason? What is? Yeah.
To be honest, as much as we kind of make
funny, but
if you remove it, it actually doesn't make it as tragic. So you kind of having it in there makes sense. As much as you're gonna say he moved from his wife, he moved on pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But,
well, depends.
Yeah.
But then it kind of makes like. I'm not saying it brings the story sort of full circle. It's like, okay, he got what he wanted to save his wife, but then that caused someone else he loved to die. So it's kind of like that weird, not synergy, but connection there. You're like, oh.
And the other thing is, 1 season later, which is a year later, he'll marry someone else, and she also dies.
Really?
Yeah.
He just shouldn't be around women.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But she had some issue before that, anyways.
Oh, okay.
She was gonna die. she was taking time off work for a cure
Yeah.
for her condition because she did about 6 weeks left to live anyways.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, but why would you marry someone when they have 6 weeks left to live?
So it was the best 6 weeks.
To be fair, they were trying to find cures for each other as well. So
yeah, fair enough. Oh,
yeah,
Mr. Banner, he's hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, no. There was an episode as well. It's called Ricky, and the main character of the guy in it is like our boy Eugene. I was like, oh my goodness, how are they do this sort of episode in this sort of time?
Yeah.
How on the nose are they gonna be with it? You know, how it's not gonna be discreet whatsoever. It's just gonna be right.
Yeah.
And the guy playing Ricky is acting like I don't know how he's meant to be, but he's mentally younger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get these crooked race drivers, just patting him on the back and saying stuff like, because they're trying to sabotage his brother, saying, you want to make your brother proud, right? You should drive the car for, make him some money or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they trick the guy into racing the race car in a destruction derby.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man. People, just kind of, I was like, I mean, okay, I couldn't. I was like sympathetic for the guy who was the Ricky, the kid who was going, getting manipulated. But I was like, these scumbag people, man.
Yeah. And like, I guess it's the 70s. Like, you could not like this is a bit too bad the world. Like, I guess you could do these sort of things. As like we all know, back then it wasn't like people not looked after as well as they are now. Obviously.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So
that. Did you ever watch there was 2 Quantum Leap episodes, so we'll mention about, where he leaped into the body of a Eugene-like character.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm going to say he was mentally disabled or whatever, right? I can't remember. Or he had Down syndrome. That sort of. I can't remember exactly the specifics of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Dr. Sam Beckett had to be fair, when Scott Bakula is playing the character, he's playing him. He's acting himself. He's not acting as. He's himself playing the character, and through the audience lens that we're watching, we see him. Yeah.
Okay.
The characters see the projection of the family member, or whoever it is they are conversing with. They don't see him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fair enough. They replaced him, and he can act that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was an episode way later on, because usually he just leaps into the one that does the adventure and then whatever, right? They came back to this one because there was an evil leaper trying to destroy the marriage of that guy's brother, and they were blaming this guy, the mentally less able person. I was like, wow, okay, going that way, right? But if you're going to have an evil leaper who goes around sabotaging stuff, it's like, okay, I
kind of get it. Yeah.
Find your target, go for it, and blame the who can be blamed, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That's not weird at all, but I guess.
Yeah. Actually, what's funny in a couple of these episodes as well, where Hulk's fighting people and he's grabbing them and he's throwing them. Sometimes they go dash far away, and sometimes they don't go.
They just topple over.
Well, yeah. Sometimes he just bash them and stuff. Yeah. There was one episode, right, which I find it hilarious. It either makes sense completely or doesn't, right? Yeah. So they drive the car. The gangsters, whatever, drive their car.
Yeah.
Chase David Banner, who runs across the street.
Yeah.
Tumbles over another car to get across the road and stuff like that, and then they kind of chase them to the one of the houses in America which have the brownstones and the steps.
Yeah.
Accidentally throw him over the side, right?
Yeah.
So then he can Hulk out, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they start to run, and Hulk grabs one of the signposts from the ground, the pole from the ground, and he kind of javelins it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hit them, because I'm like, all right, he's gonna kill them if he hits them, right?
Yeah.
No, hits their car, but it's like, wait a minute, you guys ran very far
to
get to the first place, right? Across the road, and it's like, did you teleport back to your car? And or was your car just across the road from the very beginning? And you know, I think that it was. You know, when they edit it, and you're like, wait a minute,
that's
the logistics.
right. Yeah. You was, you're like, wait, but no, that.
Yeah.
Even I know that doesn't make sense.
There was an episode where the Hulk he hulked out in a lake or river or whatever, and he was fighting a bear.
Yeah.
And then all you see is the bear get thrown into the sky.
Okay.
It's not like the bear, you know, like they're standing and he's fighting, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like you know when they're on all fours, that thing's flying in the air. It's like they just stuff something in a bear, whatever, and just throw it in the sky. And it's like, but bears are heavy.
Yeah.
Right. Bear is not light, but bears, what were you gonna say, like 5 times the weight of a human or something like that?
Yeah, something like yeah.
Yeah. So if he throws a bear that far, right? And if he's just throwing humans.
Yeah, if he just like when he throws humans, sometimes they like toss all over sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he can fully throw a bear through the air. That doesn't.
Yeah.
The maths, man, it's not there.
He's inconsistent apparently. Yeah. With his abilities. Oh, there was an episode as well where watch these things, and sometimes like nowadays things will be much more subtle.
Yeah.
Right. This is like this young teenage girl who was underage drinker, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the main thing you remember for that episode is because it was disco. They had a disco dance, a bit like a Saturday Night Fever and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they had a 70s disco version of the Lonely Man theme, and I was like, oh my goodness.
That actually sounds like dope, I'm not gonna lie, because the Lonely Man theme's the best.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, that's something right there.
That's amazing. I see what you did there. You incorporated it.
But yeah, no. Like, I'm surprised. Actually, I don't recall one. Even though I've watched all the episodes, I don't recall there ever being anything about gay relationships or anything like that in these episodes.
Yeah.
But usually there are some human elements and stuff like that. But it's like there's no overt, like 2 guys holding hands or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that would have been too edgy for the time.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah. Even though they had black mobsters and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And when Hulk got what did he do? Ernie Hudson tried to kill him. I think I mentioned this earlier to you before, right?
Yeah.
Ernie Hudson tried to run him over in the car wash or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or tried to get the car. He beat up David, threw him underneath the car, put the car wash on, so you know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then when Hulk hulked out, caused this destruction, like menaced the mobster and Ernie Hudson, and then the black mechanics are like, nah, that's what I call a color man. I'm like, all right, okay, okay. I mean, right.
That's something that wouldn't fly nowadays. Yay.
You know, no, but I think you could do that nowadays, but you have to be a bit more. It's the delivery. You have to be over the top with that to make sure everyone is in, the joke.
But it's also like one of those things. It's like the writer room's like, who, like something like nowadays, someone like a writer like, you got to word that different. You got to like get to that point differently because that just sounds really, really like hand-fisted in. So like, see what we did there? We made a joke because he's black and that guy's green, so we're gonna say the colored person. You get it? You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was they had the martial arts episode, like the Japanese. Who's that guy? They had a dude who was a Mr. Miyagi type, even though this is before Karate Kid. And this guy kind of shaved the middle of his head to be bald, even though he was I don't think he was that old. Yeah. Marco, I don't know if you know the actor called Marco. I can't remember specifically what he might have been in offhand.
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm like, all right. And that same episode, I think.
Yeah.
That it was a cop who was part of a cop family, and I think his older brother got shot or whatever in the episode. And then it was all about him and his healing journey.
Yeah.
And David was just kind of like side character there because they tried to do a pilot for this guy's character, yeah? Springfield or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, wait a minute. This is a Hulk-based universe, and this is not a Hulk character. So
they're trying to like they called it a satellite pilot for a another show with a character who they've made up who has nothing to do with actual Hulk comics or continuity or Marvel universe at all. Okay, that makes sense.
If it was Rick Jones,
yeah,
fine, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. But it's like if you do this spin-off, you're always gonna have the Hulk somewhere. Are you gonna just pretend he doesn't exist in your adventures?
Yeah.
I don't know how does it work? It's different. For example, if you had Constantine and Supernatural going on at the same time because they're kind of the same genre, right?
Yeah, they're in the same. They could kind of work in the same universe. Yeah.
It's like, or even the super universes. But when you have a serious cop show or something like that,
yeah,
and then you have a sci-fi on like mutation, whatever, on the other side, it's just like, wait a minute, they
how? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, let's just say you're watching the House MD, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you've ever seen the series Grimm.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Like one of these guys makes an appearance, and then you're like, "Wait, what? No, they ain't jive."
Yeah, or like you're saying, like, oh, Grimm. Yeah, use like the program suits something like how does this doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, so they say you're a werewolf, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. We can get done for
images. Let's go and blackmail. Let's buy some blackmail material on them because that's what lawyers do, apparently.
Yeah, you're like, wait, okay. He could, or I could just kill everyone because I'm a werewolf. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like that.
Yeah. Oh. But you're saying you would. You've had your fill of well, okay. Nothing in this appeals to you, even if you want to say, I just want to see how it goes or anything like that. None of this is like. I mean, I like the fugitive story.
Yeah.
Because that's what was going on at the time, anyways. As far as Hulk is, and that's what we kind of most remember it. And I do like they switched it from Jack McGee.
Yeah.
From Thunderbolt to Jack McGee because nowadays that can still fly.
Yeah.
If he's a journalist for like somewhat like a not trustworthy newspaper, you know, like for example, the Sun or whatever, it's Daily Mail, whatever, right? Yeah. Not Daily Mail, say Daily Star.
Yeah, Daily Star.
Yeah,
the trash. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. The tabloids, right? Because then you could be like, well, maybe it isn't real. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's like the army's after him, then all your resources and stuff like that, you would be trying to track him, and you probably could find him more often than not. Even though Jack McGee seems to be a very good journalist and does find the Hulk more often than not.
Yeah, he's actually good at his job. Yeah,
very good at his job, right?
Yeah, but that's enough. So, random quick questions. I'll get back to what you said. Jack McGee, did they ever make him into a character in the comics?
No, that's the funny thing. I don't think they did. But in the MCU, when after Edward Norton's Hulk has a fight with Tim Roth, and then they interview the kids at the university. Yeah. One of the kids is called Jack McGee.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Man.
Yeah, but it's a shame they kind of never. I don't think. I mean, they could bring him in the MCU, but then Hulk is already known, so it's not as if.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna hunt down a guy that everyone already knows exists, sort of thing, and he's a
yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was working this out. I was like, so the reward for any information leading to the capture of the Hulk, that's what the tease in the newspaper, right?
Yeah.
So people go and call the hotlines and whatnot, right? Yeah. And I was like, 10,000 in the semis. How much is that now? 50,000 in 2024 money.
Oh wow, so
that was quite a chunk actually. People would call. You'd be like 10,000. I mean, it is decent amount of money right now.
Yeah.
But if you go to equivalent back then, that was a lot.
A lot, yeah. That's like then literally. Even now, 10,000 now is like it is life changing money. But back then, that was literally like you could buy a house, live comfortably and stuff like that. Rather than now, it's like that's a deposit. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But that's my curiosity. I was like, because they like. Obviously, all the people are calling for the hotline tips and whatnot, and I'm thinking how much money, the equivalent money, is what's getting them to call, and I'm like, wow, actually, you know what? Inflation is a
Inflation's a hell of a thing. Yeah.
yeah.
It ruins lives. But yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would like. I'm somewhat curious, even though I know how it ends. Hulk dies, but like there is bits that I probably would quite interested in. See if it literally is not like which wacky everyday mundane problem the Hulk's gonna solve for someone this week, sort of thing.
Yeah. Or who's gonna get? Which poor girl is he gonna be infatuated with him, or the other way around?
Yeah.
And then he die. Actually, you know what? There was an episode where he was. What's he doing? He was trying to cure himself, right? And he was lodging with people.
Yeah.
And then, and then he started turning more into Jack on the High because the formula he was using, was causing him issues. And he started going to evil banner, like proper Jack on the High evil banner.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Right. It was the underage daughter, by the way. I don't know how old the actress who was playing the girl was, right? But she was supposed to be underage. Right? Now, she did not look 16 or whatever age they were saying she was supposed to be.
Yeah.
She looked 22-ish or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, by the way, in the 70s they look older or whatever. Right? This girl did not look like a kid, right?
Yeah. She was
so when I was like, you get to stay away from the door, I was like, well, I mean, as far as the information you're feeding me to what I'm seeing, it's slightly different, right? She looks like she's old enough to make her own decisions, but anyways, she was attracted to the raw not the animalistic version of Bruce Banner, the more aggressive version. He was having this mental instability issue at that point, right?
Okay.
Because of he was having these visions of American Indians or whatever it is, right? I don't know what was going on. And he was trying to, and I was like, not that he was trying to hook up with her, but he's just, the dad was like, no, and he was like, you tell me no, and I'll just keep on going.
I'll keep on going, because I don't like being told no,
Yeah, sort of like that, yeah. Not by the ladies, by the way, because that's a whole different thing altogether, and that's what you never went to there, right?
Yeah. We'll make a distinction, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah.
Oh, by the way, there are some episodes, by the way, where it's like, these guys, right? There was an episode where so when it starts, they're stealing farm vehicles.
Yeah.
And they're living in a tent or something like that.
Yeah.
And this guy is like, okay, so one of the guys is running away.
Yeah.
These other guys are chasing him. He falls down a hill or whatever.
Yeah.
David sees him, hiding in the bushes. These guys drive up to David and say, have you seen this guy? He says no. Then he tries to help the guy, right? The guy takes him back to the farm tent, wherever it is the stolen vehicles are,
Yeah.
And there, the lady has had a kid with this guy, not this other guy, but that guy's older brother.
Yeah.
Or other brother? Whatever. Anyways, And this guy is trying to get with her. This new guy, the other guy, right?
Yeah. And
he's just like, oh, so my brother died, but you're here, and I can have you. I mean, why don't you love me? Why are you in love? He's thinking he's getting jealous of David, right?
Yeah.
David's just a kid there. It's like, why are you jumping to conclusions first of all? Yeah, just because she's friendly with him.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to be around you. You're like, oh, because she's in love with him, right?
Yeah.
But he wants her love. The problem is, it's like, why are you being aggressive?
Yeah.
Like that and possessive? Because that doesn't make people. I don't know who that attracts, personally, right?
Yeah.
So you just, what's your logic?
There's no logic. It's just,
I'm
being conflictive for no reason, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like your jealousy is not going to be attracted to her. When she sees it, it's like, do you think, oh yeah, she's going to be like, oh, this guy, he's violent, he's abuse, he'll beat me up. Yeah, I love it. No, shut up.
It's doing the opposite of what you're thinking, dude. I mean, like,
you're showing exactly why she shouldn't be with you.
Yeah. What a loser.
But he's like, if I get rid of David, right, I can have it. And like, no. David ain't the problem. You are.
Yeah. Take a look in the mirror, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say this episode does hit on certain human issues. I mean, this series,
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Was it like more issues that would happen in the 70s rather than now, where people would probably talk it out? I mean,
well, and you say that, by the way, but I want to say sometimes you don't think humanity has advanced,
Yeah,
but some people, when you read certain things, it's like,
no,
nah.
we digressed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I get
You
that
know?
a lot of time. I think, like, really? Oh, I thought we were better than this,
Yeah.
but I guess we're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's strange, isn't it? It's strange, isn't it? Like you read about stories like bridezillas and all that stuff, and how certain how selfish some people are, and just like entitled, and just be like, the rules work one way for me, and don't and work another way for you, and it's just like, wow.
Wow. Yeah. Like really.
Beautiful,
Wow.
man.
Wow. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes you know what you need is just a good rage out, and then get thrown through.
Thrown through a
It's very safe falls. Oh, speaking of safe falls, by the way, you know how like back in those days, especially in the TV program, but you know, TV like in the 70s or 80s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When your character is taking a stunt fall, and the stuntman covers his face.
Yeah.
Even actually in Smallville as well, because they had stunt work as well there.
Yeah.
So they do that. In some things that we watch, people say they do all their own stunts.
Yeah.
And I'm quite wary of that. Like saying that you do all your own stunts. It's like, in a movie, kind of, right?
Yeah.
You'll probably get lumped with the stunts that they feel you can do safely.
Yeah.
Rather than all of your stunts, your character
stunts. If you get it wrong, we're going to be put the filming back for like 6 months. No.
Actually, let me get back to my point in just a second. Let me just give you a side story because your boy Batista's involved, right?
Yeah.
Your uncle.
With them, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who Alain Mulassi is?
No.
Have you seen Kickboxer Retaliation?
I think I've seen about like 10 minutes about that.
Okay, you know the blonde guy?
Yeah.
The blonde guy, the main character, yeah?
Yeah.
Charlie Nash.
Yeah.
Charlie Nash.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter... What was it called? Resurrection, yeah?
Yeah.
So, and actually, Hugh Jackman's stunt double in...
Wolverine?
No, Wolverine. X-Men Apocalypse. You know the scene with Weapon X?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also he played the stunt version of Batman in season 1 of Titans.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's a stuntman. I'm just going to clear that up, right?
Yeah.
He's an actor and a stuntman.
Yeah.
So Batista's got to powerbomb him.
Yeah.
And he was telling this story to Scott Adkins, and he's like, "Yeah, he wanted to take the powerbomb, right?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, I don't think you should. I don't think you should, right?"
Yeah.
So then he goes off to get a drink or whatever it is, yeah. And he comes back and he sees them practicing the powerbomb with a stuntman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's walking there, going over, no, I want to take that and stuff like that. Not kicking up steam, but he's just like, you know, because he's a stuntman, he can take it, right?
Yeah.
And Batista's like, Alan, can you just come over here and speak? Can I speak to you a second? I'm thinking Batista's going to threaten him, right? The way that I'm like, where's this story going to go? Yeah. But Batista's like, look, Alan, we're only weeks into filming this, right?
Yeah.
And if you go hurt in a powerbomb, then you're going to put all these people out of work.
Yeah.
And they have to wait for you to heal first before we can restart filming.
Yeah.
And I'll feel really bad because it's, you know, it'd be on me as well.
Yeah.
And he said, if it was towards the end of filming, go ahead, you can do it. Yeah, it wouldn't matter because we finished.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they could just film around the rest of it. But you know, you're 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
You need to be safe and sound. And the guy's like, you know what? Makes sense. It makes sense. You know. No, it was just like his pride, but then he's like, nah, actually, you know what, Batista, you know.
You're the expert here.
Before, but Batista just distilled it down straight up for the guy. He's like, you know, okay, it makes sense.
If you don't tuck your chin and...
but even as a stuntman have you taken a powerbomb before, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, you know, it could go wrong on the off, like, say you land on your neck.
Yeah.
Your shoulders and stuff like that. You go terribly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of stunt falls, and go back to what I was originally saying.
Yeah.
Only time Bill Bixby's about to Hulk out, right?
Yeah.
He does the over the shoulder, like whatever, right? Then he spins his face to the camera so you can see the green contacts.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, has to be that way because it can't exactly CGI the eyes or whatever like that. It's just like he doesn't have the contacts in. He hits whatever, he spins whatever, you know. He turns to the camera for dramatic effect as it zooms in. Green, green contacts. Okay.
Yeah.
Transformations can happen. In fact, right, some of the transformations, like, you know, you just Lou Ferrigno just flexing in the shirt or whatever it is, and it tears, yeah, because they've pre-knifed it, yeah. But then some of the ways, like, it's in trousers, they look like they're inflating something in there.
Yeah.
Like they look like just stuffed it with balloons and just inflated the leg, and it's like, I'm like, oh, it makes no sense.
Okay.
Because also, like those jeans or whatever, they don't tear, they just inflate.
Yeah.
So that's why, it looks like. And then when the leg, then they cut to something else breaking, and then they cut back, and then it's like, you know, whatever's shredded. It's like, okay,
that makes light sense. All right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you know when you're playing balloons in there, it doesn't have the same hold.
No, that's the thing.
Muscles, it just went in just blows in a funny position, and you're like, nah, that's not muscle.
No, that's what I thought. Like when I was watching that time, all the time like you see him transform, I was like, you could have just shown the upper body. That's what realistically you need to show. The legs look weird. Why would you?
Yeah.
You kind of take people out of it with that. Be like, oh, that doesn't look right. Okay.
So they have the boots as well, by the way.
Yeah. Like,
where his feet just get, you know, kind of tear the boot apart. But they try things, and sometimes it works less.
Yeah. Like, you make this worse.
Yeah.
Just don't do it, please.
Yeah. But all in all, actually, I don't think it's a bad series. Yeah. I would kind of recommend watching it, but in a way that's like, wow, this is 40 plus years old, nearly 50. You know, you'd be intrigued to see how they were doing it back then.
Yeah.
Only if you're used to the style of like, if you have people walking around with flares, not afros because they didn't have, like, you know, that sort of and whatnot, you know.
Like, it is. I would say, it's kind of like. I don't want to say a technical. I think I said it kind of before. I kind of respect them for doing what they did at that time period.
Yeah.
So like, I give them that. Like, you know what? You was very limited, and you pulled off something. It lasted 4 seasons, right? So that's
5. So it had 13 episodes of the first season.
Yeah.
Then 22/23 episodes for season 2, 3, and 4, and then 7 episodes for season 5.
Okay. Oh, but yeah. So it done well for enough to get that far. You know what I mean? So I respect them for that, and I hope no one does replicate this in the future. That might sound bad, but it's like.
Well, okay. When you say replicate, you mean in this particular style? Because say it was a Disney Plus Hulk series.
I don't know.
Well, okay. If there's a Disney Plus Hulk series before he was Professor Hulk, right now, this version.
I don't know, because I feel like I was gonna get into this later, but we might do it now because we're near the end.
Come on.
I personally think that non-comic book fans would like a Hulk-centric TV series because, like, not a lot of people, when you speak to them about the Hulk, they make a Hulk film, like, okay, cool. What were they about? Yeah, the Hulk just breaking things up, but then after like 10 minutes, it's boring.
Yeah.
They don't really know much about the Bruce Banner thing, and they're not interested in Bruce Banner, so you can't, like.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's why the Hulk kind of can't work on his own, film-wise. Like, comic-wise, it works because, like, obviously you're into the character and he goes through all these trial and tribulations, blah, blah. But, like, I don't think people will sit down for, like, 2 hours is like, oh, yeah, and the reason why I'm like this is because my dad beat me, and and I love this woman called Betty Ross, but she just sees me as a monster, and I don't want her to see me as a monster, but she loves it. All that sort of melodramatic stuff, and people won't want that. They just want, hey, the Hulk breaks stuff. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I feel they could. It just depends because, you know, like if it's like a Disney Plus episodes, they've got their focus. It's like a long form movie because they've got it's one singular story they're telling through those set of episodes rather than each episode is about an individual thing that then there's not like you can watch the episodes out of order like this series,
Yeah.
and it doesn't impact into the whole story.
Yeah.
Like these are more one-off episodes you could just watch here and there and just right.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was nowadays Disney Plus, I think there would be like beginning, middle, and end to the entire arc, and then
Yeah.
season 2 or 3 or whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah. Because like I don't know. I just. Yeah, I don't know.
But then it'd have to be. It couldn't be Thunderbolt. It could be Thunderbolt and his Hulkbuster gang, or his gang of 5,
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? They want to get in the army because he'd have to get. They'd have to demote him or something like that, just so they could follow in the requirements of the TV show budget.
Yeah. Which be weird, but yeah.
Yeah. Thunderbolt Ross with his Suicide Squad of the Absorbing Man and the Wrecking Crew. I don't know.
Yeah. The Wrecking Crew, Half-Life, whatever it was.
Half-Life.
Yeah, it's one of the Hulk's bad guys called Half-Life.
Oh, and Piecemeal. I don't know if you've heard of that guy.
Who?
Exactly. There's a guy called Piecemeal where he's like, "Why is this '90s Hulk, Professor Hulk villain?"
Oh, okay. Was he terrible?
Yeah. I think he was put together by whatever. I don't know.
And was it? Is it? What's the weird Hulk bag? His name's is it Composite Hulk?
Composite Hulk.
Yeah.
The Android Hulk.
I remember, and it's like, I think he might be kind of new. I don't know. Like, I remember seeing a picture of like Red Hulk and Green Hulk in one. I think it's like called Composite Hulk.
Composite Hulk. All right, like the composite Batman Superman.
Yeah. Let me see if that's anything.
Yeah. And as you're doing that, let me see if I can find my boy Piecemeal that I was talking about. Because, yeah. You know what? Actually, as we tail off.
Yeah.
What Hulk villains do you think are intriguing enough to be worthy of a film/TV show?
Juggernaut. I don't saw his name on the list of Hulk villains.
No, but Juggernaut's not a Hulk villain.
No, he's not. He's an everyone villain. He's not a villain anymore. He's a good guy. I don't really know. The only one I would kind of say, and it's only because it'd be what a twist. Would be Mephisto. I mean Maestro. Sorry. Maestro, because it's
Maestro Mephisto. I was like, yep, that guy.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Maestro. I don't know why I said Mephisto, but yeah, like because he is the Hulk, but in the future and crazy.
Do you think we'll see a version of the Maestro in one of the alternate universe versions of like whatever in the MCU? Because now they've got the multiverse.
I think we
because
might.
there are some intriguing villains or characters they can use.
Yeah.
But I don't think they do want to use the main line, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
like we're saying about like we always say, right? The what's his name? The Maker.
Yeah.
We're saying, oh yeah, get Miles Teller back, get the use that version of the Mr. Fantastic, make the Maker,
Because that could work.
Yeah.
And it would be.
They could always get Eric Banner back, or Edward Norton, and have them be the Maestro.
Yeah.
And not necessarily be the Maestro. Like they could just do the voice just for the jokes.
Yeah.
And have their face, because the Maestro's got a beard, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, until they get their beard taken off, you wouldn't really realize it was one of those Hulks.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
oh, okay, that makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't find this character I'm thinking about. But
Yeah.
Beast, really?
I think they did have Samuel Stearns, aka the leader, but they're using him for the Captain America film.
Yeah, because I was gonna bring it up a bit as well. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but
I've seen some spoilers or some bit of the trailer, and I'm like, why, people, why?
Yeah, I was like, this film's
Like, it's not why that is that character in the film. It's just like, why? I seen a Hulk spoiler for something else I read.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to spoil for you.
Yeah.
But it's just why do people just love this stuff? Like,
Yeah. And like, I don't understand. Like, I think we spoke about this before. Why show so much in trailers?
Yeah.
Because it'd been cool to like watch and like, oh snap, That's the
Yeah.
Red Hulk. But now they've literally just basically shown it, and even like the poster is the Captain America shield and Red Hulk's holding it. It's like you see his hands, like
Yeah, now that's when you know who the Red Hulk is.
yeah,
At least they got the mustache, right?
yeah.
At least they like gave him a reason.
Did they?
Well, they gave a reason for it because they the whole reason is why now Thunderbolt Ross looks like Harrison Ford and not William Hurt is because
Yeah.
shaved the mustache, he looks so different. All right, okay.
okay, that's quite a hilarious joke, but
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah.
But to be honest, we don't know for sure that the Red Hulk is actually Thunderbolt Ross here because when I was watching Captain America: Winter Soldier, I was like, oh, Alexander Pierce, he is Red Skull because that's what happened in the comics. No, they didn't do that right.
Which I was quite surprised and quite happy. Like, oh, okay, that's quite cool. They didn't do it that way.
Yeah. So they might know that they might be throwing a red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought originally Red Hulk was going to be the villain for the Thunderbolts film or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought, which kind of makes sense.
Go on. Yeah, but then I was thinking the Thunderbolts, okay, have nothing to do with Thunderbolt Ross in the comics.
No.
But they are perfectly lined up to take the code name as the group because of Thunderbolt Ross, because he's with them.
Yeah.
He puts them together here, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's actually quite a good link from here to there.
Doesn't as well. Oh, because I know he was in one version of the Thunderbolts. I think it was like 2015 when it was Punisher, Elektra, Deadpool, Red Hulk.
Whoa. Okay.
And someone else. I think it might have been Ghost Rider. I think Ghost Rider's in it for a bit as well. And this is where Punisher and Elektra ran a relationship for a bit. And Agent Venom, that was it, Agent Venom. And his white Venom symbiote, the sign.
The anti-Venom?
Red. Yeah, no. This was normal. It just flashed on some.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's how it works, but sure. Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I read that for a while, but yeah, not really. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Red Hulk thing, but yeah, well, I'm interested to see where it goes. But back to Incredible Hulk. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what the Hulk and stuff holds in the future.
But even though you're saying you're not going to watch this series in the semis, you are going to watch the Spider-Man semi-series and not the Super Sentai Spider-Man.
No.
I thought that was actually it had 2 seasons. I thought each season was like 22 episodes long or something like that. No, it turns out it's 12 episodes in total. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's easy. Watch that's easy watch then. I was kind of dreading maybe watching it, but if that's it, yeah, cool. I don't mind that.
Okay, we're gonna we have a throwback to how they were doing it back then, as we were comparing the Hulk modern day incarnations to the Hulk now with this advanced in CGI and whatnot. We're gonna have a look at Spider-Man and how terrible that was.
Yeah.
So you can paint a guy green and whatever, right? But how do you do the spider swinging and all that stuff? That's the question.
Yeah, I bet you it's so limited.
Yeah, I bet you why it's inadvertently hilarious, because this takes the source material seriously. That I don't know, because I can't remember too much, but I'm like, limited of what you can do. Is it tongue-in-cheek, or are you going to still try and make it serious?
I think I'm going to try and make it serious. Because I remember like memories of it, and I'm like, this isn't great. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, indeed, we'll see.
I'm quite intrigued and terrified at the same time about this. Yay, I say. Yay. But yeah, so anything else we want to say about this show?
No, well, I mean, to be fair, you probably saw one of the best episodes of it just watching the pilot, because it does actually set up the story, and then it wraps it on itself because it doesn't need to like it could conclude there and that'd be that.
Leave open ended sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've seen the TV movies, so you kind of get the vibe of what.
Face the scene all, really, yeah.
Yeah. You get a feel of it. It's not as if it's too different, you know.
No.
They just kind of antagonize him. He hulks out, and then David Banner just walked out. No, I don't know what went on. No, he's a green monster. I don't know.
Also green monster.
I was over there while he was over here, so surely it's not me.
Surely, wink, wink.
No, not me. No, it's not me.
No.
I swear.
I was over there. What's that person over there?
You know what? They threw me through the door, yeah? But the green guy must have been in the door when I got in there because he came out and I'm not him. So yeah.
Make of that what you want. Like, okay.
Yeah.
No one was asking you. But okay. Like, no one was asking you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, weirdo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that will conclude us for this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse, where we talk about the Hulk TV series, which you are not going to watch. You're saying? No. Okay. Well, yeah,
maybe one day.
But then you can watch specific, like, so you know when there's a channel on YouTube, the Hulk channel, whatever it is, and it's got highlights of Hulk outs and stuff like that. So if you want to know what's going on, you can just watch some of those. You know, you get kind of the vibe of it. It's not. The series is not amazing, right?
Yeah, but nothing is now. In general, you know.
Yeah, but it's kind of intriguing when you get into the fugitive aspect of it. It's like, oh, how the suspense bit does work. How's he going to get away from Jack McGee, or what these people, you know, whatnot. So certain vibes do still kind of carry and work.
Yeah, because I mean,
so like, well, you're watching it, and you're like, nah. Even in the episodes, it wouldn't fly today, or because of technological advancements, it wouldn't work the same way.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think it's, like I said before, my sort of ignorance watching old things. It's like my brain won't take this sort of thing. But I might.
Well, look, we're not going to start watching Superman, Kirk Allen's Superman from the 30s, where he turns into a cartoon when he flies. So
yeah, no, I definitely couldn't watch that. I think I would laugh, and then like, you know what, I can't take this seriously, so I can't watch the rest. So that's why I couldn't do that one. But
yeah,
I don't know. I might give a few episodes of the Hulk a try.
Or what about the Captain America series from the 40s, where he's got a gun? He's got a gun.
No, because the suit makes me laugh. So
I can't watch that. Pictures of it, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. Oh wow! Even for the 40s, this is terrible. I mean,
yeah, you see the Batman suit in the 40s as well. Jeez. You know, but look, if I watch them, I won't make you watch them, right? I was going to say, not that I might watch them, but it's just one of those things where you're like, I mean, the 60s Batman, that's something else.
Yeah, that's something else. That's kind of like tongue-in-cheek, and you kind of, it's a product of its time, and it's still, it's just some of the mannerisms they use are quite hilarious, so yeah. But anything else? Because the others try to be serious, like, no, I can't do that. No.
yeah. But after that sidetrack, signing off, yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you for watching us listening to us talk about the Incredible Hulk TV show from the 70s. And do any of you guys remember this show? You let us know if you have. Well,
even on reruns. I mean, I watched some of these on reruns.
Yeah, I think I watched some of them when I was a child. Yeah. And yeah, let us know. And what was your favorite episode, or if there's any episodes that I should watch, you could recommend it.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Maybe check them out. And you can do that by leaving a comment down below if you watch this on YouTube, or send us a message on like Instagram and Twitter, and even email us, and you can find all that stuff at the top of the screen. You can see it'll be up there in the header, our social media links and handles and all that. And don't forget to, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And I finally finished the Spider-Man movie game, and I've moved on to Blade 2, because chronologically that came out next in 2003. So yeah, and it's pretty.
Oh no.
Wait,
Blade came out in 2002.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, because they both came out in 2002, but it's chronologically, yeah, the game came out in September.
Yeah, after game off.
Yeah, right, so when did the film come out?
The film came out in 2002.
I mean, like in the.
What do you mean? Did it come out before Spider-Man or after Spider-Man?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I saw it in the cinema, even though I was too young to actually sit in the cinema. I think Blade 1 and 2 are both 18s. I know Blade Trinity is a 15.
Yeah.
And I was like
Yep.
19 by the point I come out. But yeah, I saw it. I can't get
No, I
ready
think
for it
Blade
now.
2 is a 15. Blade 2 might be in a 15.
I don't know, because I remember I had to like lie about my age, and I would have been
Okay.
I would have been 16 at that point. So
All right. Okay.
But yeah, we played Blade 2. That's pretty hilarious. So
Okay.
check that out. And can't think. I forgot. I literally had something else in my head, but I forgot. But anyways, thank you guys for taking a trip with us around the multiverse, and R.I.P. Bill Bixby, even though he died like 20 years ago. But anyways, R.I.P. Wait, he died in 90. Wait.
Yeah. No, it was after the end of the whole
Yeah, not long after, isn't it?
Yeah. So about early 90s.
Yeah. R.I.P. to him. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.